Hello, all you wonderful people. Welcome to another What's in the Vault. Today I will be showing 10 more DVD movies for the shelf back here. Because, like I said, I have a lot of movies to go through. So, with that, let me introduce you, if you have not already seen, these movies. So the first one here, I'm gonna be a little careful because the actual disc holder on this DVD case is broken, so the DVD will not stay in place. But this is called Joe Somebody. This is a kinda average feel-good family flick to put on. It doesn't do anything like unique or anything like that. It's just about a father trying to not look weak in front of his daughter. Well, that's a perfect time for my eye to start itching up. But her father gets in a confrontation at work in front of his daughter where basically he gets humiliated. So the whole movie kind of builds around the concept of him getting kind of a rematch between the co-worker that humiliated him, and it kind of builds up to this fight or whatever in the end of the movie. It's an okay movie. I imagine it's not something everyone's really heard about, but it's not a bad movie by any means. I enjoyed it when I first watched it. When I watched it, I think it was out on VHS, I believe. Can't really remember. Maybe I did have it on DVD. Can't remember at the time. Entertaining and heartwarming. This stars mainly, of course, Tim Allen, and who is the other one? Jim Belushi is in this too, as you can see from the back here. Knockout fun for the whole family. Alright. Moving on from one kinda comedy, wholesome family film to another comedy film. This one isn't quite as wholesome. This is a movie called Scorched. This stars Alicia Silverstone, Rachel Lee Cook, Woody Harrelson, and John Cleese. Cleese. Something like that. This movie is a comedy about 3 separate bank tellers that all on their own time, they're all 3 planning to rob the bank at separate times. John Cleese plays, obviously, because he plays this well. He is the owner of the bank. So yeah, that is the premise of this movie. You got 3 different people that all are planning to rob this bank. And yeah, it's a funny concept. It is a funny movie. Probably not an all-time classic comedy, but it's a fun watch. I will say that. Again, I feel like no one hardly ever talks about this movie that I've seen, just like Joe Somebody. So, I have the tendency to kind of search out different movies that I think are kind of obscure that I kind of watched when I was younger. By all means, I think you can probably find this on one of the many streaming services out there. I just like to physically get stuff. Because I know a lot of things. I know with a few of the items I have, they've gotten switched around between different streaming services and stuff like that. What used to be on Netflix is now on Hulu and just stuff like that. Not really opening this up to show the inside because DVDs, at least from what this feels like, it doesn't feel like there's really anything inside. But yeah, another good movie. I think I've only watched this movie once. I remember liking it. I really need to watch this again, though. Alright, going back to more the family side of things for a movie. We have... Now this one I know I only had on VHS. I've not watched the DVD version, so it's probably a little bit better quality than what I remember. But this is a movie called Fly Away Home. This is a movie that I don't think I personally owned it. It was a movie that my grandmother had. She had a lot of like kid films and stuff for when they had me over. And this is one that I watched several different times. This stars Jeff Daniels. And I haven't particularly heard of the other person. Anna Paquin. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, unfortunately. This is a really kind of heartfelt movie. It is basically about this little girl. Jeff Daniels plays her father. She comes across these baby geese, and eventually, after taking care of them, it starts to become winter. And yeah, these baby geese, I guess the geese's mother was somehow, well, killed, I think, or something. But so this is kind of a silly concept because I think birds by natural just have nature for this kind of thing, but just to go with the illusion of the movie, that whole put stuff to the side just to make the movie make sense. But it's basically where she has to prepare somehow to show her geese babies how to fly south for the winter so they can survive. And so, with the help of her father, they end up building this flying machine to lead all these geese south. And that is the main concept of this movie. It's a good one. I consider it a classic. Again, it's just not a movie I really think about though. Until I don't know, it just popped in my mind one day. I remember it being a great family movie. From like the multiple times that I watched it. And I think I can highly say that I highly recommend this one. Check it out. So this is not my original copy from back in the day. In the early 2000s, around 2004, yeah, that's about the time. I had my first job, and about every week I would go out once and just buy any kind of new release movie on DVD or whatever with my spare money. So back then I kind of had quite a DVD collection. I have more now, but back then I kind of foolishly, I think, traded in all my DVDs from when I first built up some. But this is a Tom Hanks movie called The Lady Killers. It's another comedy where I don't know if it's specifically this whole group. I think it is. They're planning to kill this lady, and it's, for whatever reason, not happening. Like, it's one of the movies where the crooks, they intend to kill the lady, but through to some comedic, like, timing and such, they just can't bring themselves to do it or something. I remember it being funny. Sure they do. But other than that, I don't remember the specific plot points and how things turn to what they ended up turning to. The twist. I don't remember the whole twist of the movie. This reminds me briefly of kind of, if I was to compare this movie with any other movie, it might be The Whole 9 Yards, I believe. And just the general kind of comedy, I think. The same kind of comedy aspect. And now we have what many would consider a classic movie. Steven Spielberg's E.T. So, I've actually rewatched this movie quite recently, maybe a few months ago. Which is good, because this would otherwise have been another movie that I almost remembered how nothing about it. My thoughts on it? For me, it was just alright. I didn't grow up with like any really nostalgia for this movie, even though I saw it when I was really young. So, me personally, I don't have like really any big nostalgia tie to it. So for me, this movie is just kinda alright. But just because I think something's alright doesn't mean it's not a good movie. There's plenty of other people out there that are very fond of this movie. I mean, after all, E.T. is a masterpiece. This one I think I will open up to show you, since it's kinda in its own kinda unique sleeve. disc itself is kind of in the design of a moon. This also has a little booklet with, I think, some like information in it. And it does have another disc. Apparently this was on this disc, it's the original theatrical release of it. So apparently there was some... Oh, okay. Apparently there was some editing difference, I guess, between the movie now and from its theatrical release. Comes with a very thin booklet, which is not sliding out, so I'm not gonna force it. So this movie specifically, I actually was able to find on clearance for around $3, I believe. So I definitely don't regret buying it or anything. Something I may return to eventually. So now we got Adam Sandler movie, along with Drew Barrymore, 50 First Dates. Now this released along when Adam Sandler was releasing stuff like Big Daddy, Mr. Deeds. This is a movie that also kind of fell out around that time period of his career. I like this one though. It's a simple concept. A lot of Adam Sandler movies are a simple concept of a movie. This one is basically about Drew Barrymore, who has some kind of medical problem that's affecting her short-term memory. So whenever she goes to sleep for the day, it's like a mind wipe, and she doesn't remember the day before. So what happens is when she wakes up on a new day, now basically there was an accident in the movie with her character, and ever since that accident, she can't regain her short-term memory. So everything she remembers is before the accident, like every morning she wakes up. So Adam Sandler's character, he ends up kinda clicking with Drew Barrymore, and they kinda have like a normal conversation where they want to go out on a date again. Well, you can see how that would become awkward when she would not remember it the following day. So much like the movie title, he has to basically keep falling in love with Drew Barrymore every day to try to, well, you get the concept. It's a good movie. Definitely one of Adam Sandler's better movies. we have a few more to get to. Normally try to limit these to 10. So, alright. So this is definitely one of my favorite comedies. Maybe it's just because at the time I watched it, by the time this came out, I just came off on a where I binged a lot of the X-Files to watch through it. So we got Evolution and its little 3-eye smiley. This is a funny movie. The characters are a little bit they're kinda extreme with their personalities and such, but it just makes the whole thing more funnier. Basically, you got two college professors, which is here in the middle. You have he wants to be a firefighter, but he failed his exam, and she's actually kind of the middle person. That she was in the army somehow. Well, not army, but one of them kind of like National Guard or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what the film calls their army, but basically there's a alien invasion happen. Now, this ain't just a pure comedy. There is some kind of sci-fi monsters element to it, obviously, being aliens, but our main characters here, since they are so kind of, in a sense, over the top funny, it kind of keeps the movie at a comedy pace rather than falling into kind of comedy slash sci-fi horror kind of thing. Like, the movie isn't scary at all, it's purely a comedy. So, relatively good one at that. Well, I say relatively, but it's actually one of my favorites. Stars David Duchovny, basically Fox Mulder on the X-Files. Orlando Jones. He was kinda in quite a few comedies around this time period. Sean William Scott, basically Big from American Pie. And Julianne Moore. I definitely will recommend this movie. Looks like I randomly grabbed a thriller movie. So, much like the name implies, Hostage, starring Bruce Willis. So, this is basically about Bruce Willis's character family, and basically someone breaks into Bruce Willis's house and then holds his family hostage to try to find a specific item they're looking for. I really enjoyed this movie. It is a thriller, so expect that, and it's pretty much stays that way. See, a full throttle thriller. There you go. And what I told you was the basic concept of the movie. It's a really good movie, and I definitely kind of feel the urge to watch it again soon. I remember liking it a lot. This is another movie that I don't really hear a lot of people talking about when it comes to Bruce Willis films. Oh, looks like you guys are gonna get like 11 movies today. Because I have a double pack. We have more comedies. Basically, these star Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights. The details for these movies are a little fuzzy for me. I know they are a mix between comedy and martial arts. Well, fighting, I guess. More so on the Jackie Chan side, obviously. I don't remember how funny these movies were. I remember liking them. I don't remember too much of Shanghai Noon. Because the only one I bought back when I was building my DVD collection the first time, I bought this, Shanghai Nights, when it first released. They had it on a display at Kroger or something. Yeah, it was specifically Kroger. Yeah. I do remember picking it up and enjoying it. There is some story to each of these, but I'm not going to be able to tell you about it because just my memory is not there for it. Alright, and finally, we're apparently going for a horror movie now. Yes. Alright. House on Haunted Hill. The remake that was released in 1998, was it? Trying to find the copyright. Oh well. Yeah. It released in 1998 or 1999, somewhere around there. I can't remember if I watched this on TV or if I owned it. I think I owned it at one point, but I do remember enjoying it. Basically, well, as the story goes, a millionaire invites all these people to a house that's like, I think it's more of an asylum, but yeah, or it's either like a house built on an asylum. I don't really remember the details, but they invite all these people to come stay the night at this house, and if they can survive till morning, then they get $1 million each. However, if any of them leave, then that just grows the jackpot to be bigger for the people that do continue to stay overnight. So say if someone leaves, then that $1 million gets put into split between the remaining people, and which includes their $1 million as well. I remember really enjoying this one as a horror movie. It goes right along with Ghost Ship and 13 Ghosts for me. Oh no. Wow. There was still a little paper display. Well, that's... well, this case is broken. These cases were always kinda nice with the scene select... with the scenes, I mean. Anybody remember these things? Proof of purchase? But yeah. This one, I did not know the disc tray was broken. Alright, and I do recommend this for as far as horror movies go, so if you enjoy the horror movies, I would check out the remake. I think for what it is, it holds up fairly well. I never watched the classic movie of House on Haunted Hill, but it might not hold up for someone that's really enjoyed the older one. I don't know. I am not a person that's able to compare that. And that is your movies from the vault today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in a couple days for my next What's in the Vault. Have a great day, great night, great sleep, great relaxation. Thank you for watching.